Dark Shadows, number 33, VTR 72766, air 81066, take one.
My name is Victoria Winters. It seems like years since I came here to Collinwood, where the tension halts the flow of time. But the days have passed, and I'm no closer to the answers I'd hoped to find. Answers I feel are rooted within the panel walls of this great mansion, and in the heart of the woman who never leaves its grounds. Mother, why are you sitting here in the dark? Are you all right?
I'm fine.
Are you sure?
I said I'm fine. I was afraid you'd get caught in the storm.
So was I. Mother, where's David?
Upstairs, in his room.
Mother?
Carol, I want you at least to be happy. Please be happy. I wasn't here when David came home. I was at the cottage.
Burke Devlin brought him, didn't he?
How did you know that?
Well, when I was in town looking for David, I stopped in at the hotel. They told me that David and Burke had left together. Did you see Burke?
No, he'd gone by the time I got back. Oh, Carolyn, it's so terrible. So
Mother.
terrible.
Don't. Did you speak to David?
Yes. I went upstairs to his room, but he wouldn't talk to me. He wouldn't say a word.
And he didn't admit tampering with the brakes on his father's car.
I told you, he wouldn't speak. A 9-year-old boy lying on his bed, terrified.
But you know now that he was responsible.
Yes, I know.
Well, it's all over now, isn't it?
I don't think so. It'll go on and on. Carolyn, when you were in town, did you tell anybody why David ran away?
No.
No one must know that. Remember that. No one.
But how will you explain what happened to the car?
Well, I've already taken care of that. I said the brakes failed. It was an accident.
What about Burke? Don't you think he should know?
I'm not interested in Burke.
Well, don't you think you should be? I mean, he was almost arrested because of David.
All that concerns me is my family.
Yes, I know that, Mother, but there are other people, too. Don't forget, both you and Uncle Roger accused Burke of tampering with those brakes. You had the sheriff question him, search his room. Don't you think you owe him an apology?
Carolyn, please, please stop worrying about Burke.
Well, who should I worry about? David?
He is your cousin.
I'd rather have one friend like Burke than 10 cousins like that little monster.
Carolyn.
I'm sorry, Mother.
Darling, it isn't just David, it's you, all of us.
We're going to be fine, Mother.
Carolyn, I want you to be happy. That's all I live for.
I know. Why don't I fix us some tea?
Carolyn, don't trust him.
Who?
You say Burke Devlin's a friend. But you don't know him, darling. Believe me, you don't.
Oh, no, Mother.
The fact that he wasn't the cause of this accident doesn't mean that he won't. Carolyn, you have a chance to lead a sane, happy life. You're the only one in this house that can do it.
Mother, I like Burke, sure.
But that doesn't mean I'm going to run away with him. Of course, he hasn't asked me.
Carolyn, don't even joke about it.
All right, no jokes. Straight talk. I'm not ready to marry Joe Haskell. I know. And he's in love with me. I know all that, Mother. I know all about him. The person I don't know about is me.
Love me? Sure, I love you, Joe. Will you marry me? No, I won't marry you, Joe. Why won't you marry me? Because I live in a house on a hill, that's why. Hey, Andy, let's get some service over here. Waiter!
Having a little trouble, Joe?
You're no waiter.
What? Could my friend over here have another drink and bring me a beer, please? How was that?
Look, I am not a friend of yours. Who invited you to sit down here, anyway?
Oh, I thought you might need a little ballast, Joe.
Well, you think I'm drunk, don't you? Isn't that right, Mr. Burke, big-wheeled Devlin?
Well, if you're not, you're going to get there pretty fast.
Well, why not? The whole world is coming to an end, Devlin. Did you know that? The whole rotten, stinking world.
Thanks. Cheers.
What are you waiting around here for, anyway?
Oh, I hate to drink alone. Saw my old friend Joe Haskell sitting by himself at the table. I figured
I am not your friend.
You could be.
How, by letting you steal my girl away from me?
Joe, I'm not interested in stealing anybody's girl.
Ha.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I think you better make that one your last tonight.
You're not only a girl stealer, you're a warden. Let me tell you something, Devlin. I don't like you. I don't like your smile. I don't like the way you talk. And if you make another pass at Carolyn...
Hey. You want to make me sorry I sat down with you?
You don't like it here, go someplace else.
What's eating you, Joe? It isn't just Carolyn, is it?
His wife's going to have a baby. That's what's eating me.
You lost me.
His wife's going to have a baby. Don't you understand English? We were going to buy a boat together.
Who's we?
Oh, this fellow I work with. A couple of months we were going to buy this boat. Just a couple of months. Him and me. I'd have my own boat. I'd be able to marry Carolyn. Now today he tells me it's all off. He can't do it. Unexpected expenses. His wife's going to have a baby.
Why don't you buy the boat yourself?
With what? Take me at least another year and a half to make that kind of money. His wife's going to have a baby.
Well, the offer I made you still goes. Well, maybe this is a little lesson for you, Joe. Marriage isn't always the answer. Sometimes it gets in the way.
What makes you so sure marriage is the answer for me, Mother? I've got lots of time yet.
The sooner you get out of this house, the better I'll like it.
You just want to get rid of me, that's all.
Well, you know that isn't true.
Besides, with David gone, you won't need Vicky here anymore, and you'll be all alone.
David isn't going.
You're joking.
Things are going on exactly as they were. Miss Winters is going to continue tutoring
Mother,
David.
you can't do that. I mean, it isn't safe to have him here.
I think we can manage.
Manage? Oh. No wonder this place is a madhouse. I mean, here I am, relatively sane, and you want me to leave. But a monster who tried to kill his own father.
Carolyn, there's no point in our discussing it.
Mother, you have to. What does Uncle Roger say about it?
He feels exactly as I do.
Well, then you're both out of your minds. I'm sorry, Mother, but what else can I think? David's no ordinary little boy, and you know it. From the very first day he came...
He's my nephew.
Well, I'm sure Jack the Ripper had an aunt somewhere and a mother. Mother, all I'm saying is that it won't be safe for any of us.
If that's the way you feel, Carolyn, all the more reason for you to leave here.
That wasn't what I meant.
But it is what I meant. David needs me. He needs my help and protection. You don't, darling, not anymore. You need a home away from here. Away from... Maybe you're right. Perhaps this is a madhouse. Then leave it. Marry Joe and leave.
Busy? Nope. Just reading my birth certificate. Come on in.
I remember it by heart. Her name is Victoria. I can't take care of her. Right?
It doesn't change.
I wonder if the person who wrote that ever knew you'd end up here. We'll be having dinner in about half an hour.
Is that what you came up here to tell me?
No. I was just wondering how you survived all the excitement.
David?
You know my mother insists on his staying here.
She told me.
Vicki, what do you think of us? I mean, well, you've been here a while. You've had a chance to see us in action. Are we crazy, all of us?
Of course not.
Well, now think about it. There's my mother. She hasn't been off the grounds in 18 years. Ever since my father deserted her. Uncle Roger running around like a madman thinking Burke Devlin wants to kill him. David. And me.
And what's your brand of insanity?
I'm not joking. I don't know what we are anymore, Vicki. I don't even see how you can continue to stay on here.
I have to.
Why, because of that note? You haven't found out one more thing about yourself since you came up here.
I know.
Oh, I'm not suggesting you leave. Believe me, I'd hate it if you did. Vicki, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with all of us?
Has your mother been talking to you about marriage again?
Yes. Vicki, you want to find out who you are. Well, so do I. But I don't know how to go about it.
Well, I haven't been doing a very good job myself.
Oh, but you try. At least you try.
Not hard enough. Carolyn, could I borrow your car tonight?
Sure.
Thanks. There's something I have to do in town.
Okay. Well, I guess I might as well get ready for supper.
Carolyn, I wish I could help you.
So do I. The thing that gets me is this. My mother wants me to marry Joe Haskell. But I can't help but think that the worst thing I could do to a nice guy like that would be to bring him into this nutty family.
It's the family, that's what it is. It's the family. You know, if it wasn't for them sitting up in that house, Carolyn and I could be happy, you know what I mean? Happy.
I thought you liked them.
Oh, they're all right. I mean, they're all right. I think I want another drink.
I think you've had enough.
Oh, that's great. That's just great. Burke Devlin thinks I've had enough. Did I ask you?
No, but I think it anyway.
I had to belt you right. Waiter!
Do yourself a favor, Joe. Slow down.
Oh, that's all I ever do is slow down. Good old reliable Joe Haskell. You know what I am, Devlin? A mouse. That's what I am, a mouse.
Don't sell yourself short, kid.
I don't know what's happened to her up on that hill. You think I don't know? Did I ever come right out and tell her? No. And do you know why? Because I'm a mouse.
What has happened to her?
Sure, I love you, Joe. Just don't ask me to marry you. Well, I've had it, Devlin. I've had it. I've been shoved and stepped on for the last time. Right? Right. For the last time.
Hey, bring me another beer, will you? Put the kids' drinks on my tab.
How are you going to get into town?
Carolyn's lending me her car. I just wanted to let you know that I wouldn't be here for dinner.
Oh, that's perfectly all right. Joe.
That's right, Mrs. Stoddard. Good old, reliable Joe.
You're drunk.
I want to see Carolyn. And I want to see her now. How about it, Mrs. Stoddard? Do I get to see Carolyn? Or did you lock her back up in this dungeon of yours?
If you can still drive, I suggest that you leave.
With all due respect, ma'am, I've been listening to suggestions for too many years. Where is she, Miss Winters? Is she upstairs?
You're being very foolish.
Oh, I'm being smart. What I was foolish, not saying anything. That was foolish.
I don't think he knows what he's talking about.
Oh, Hammett won't come to the mountain?
Joe, you stay right here.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Stoddard.
What's going on, Dum?
Joe, what are you doing here?
I'm paying a visit to my girl. That's what I'm doing.
You parted.
Your mother was more ladylike. She said I was drunk. Well, let's go into the council room. You too, Miss Winters. Everybody.
I don't know what you're trying to
Sit
prove.
down.
I think you're the one that ought to sit down.
Oh, you're funny. Do you know that? You're a very funny girl. You're also a very sad girl.
What do you want?
I want you to know what you did to her. That's what I want.
Me?
Joe, now you listen
No,
to
you
me.
listen to me. Carolyn, you know when you're going to get married? Never. Now, it isn't me. It isn't anybody. It's you. Old spinster you, sitting in your dungeon, keeping your mother company.
I insist that you leave.
I will. But not till I've said what I came to say.
Mrs. Stoddard, I think I ought to go.
Oh, no, Miss Winters, you stay. You hear this. You want to live in this house, you ought to hear what it does to you. You know why she doesn't want to marry me? Because she's scared. She's scared to marry anybody.
That's not true.
Oh, yes, it is, Carolyn. You laugh and you make jokes and you run around like crazy. But inside, you're shaking like a rabbit. And you know why? Because of her.
That's enough.
Mrs. Stoddard, I haven't finished. Carolyn, look at your mother. She's been sitting in this house for 18 years. She's never even gone off this hill since the day your father walked out on
That
her.
is no concern of yours.
Oh, yes, it is. Mrs. Stoddard, I love your daughter. And I want to get married. But she won't because she sees what it did to you. It put you in a prison. This big, rotten prison.
Joe!
No, I'm all right. All right. All right. You did it to her, Mrs. Stoddard. You did it to her.
I think you ought to sit down.
No, maybe just for a minute. It's a prison, Miss Winters. You stay here, you'll be as nuts as the rest of them.
You just sit quietly.
The only trouble is, see, I'm stuck. I love her. And I'm stuck.
He's out cold. Mother, what he said.
It isn't true. Vicky, whatever got into him? He loves you. I think I better go into town now. It isn't true, Joe. None of what you said is true.
Hello, Mr. Devlin.
Miss Winters, this is a surprise.
Oh?
I didn't know you ever came into here.
I don't. This is my first time.
You looking for someone?
I found him. May I sit down?
Of course.
Who is Shane? Why is he trying to forget his past? Meet this unique Westerner in a new adventure series, Saturday Nights in Color, starting in September on ABC. Dark Shadows is a Dan Curtis production.